Hi everyone, this is Darren from SimNation doing a follow-on video to the previous video, which is how I'm going to game plan for my game this week against the New Orleans Saints. Just so you know, New Orleans is generally a bad team. As you can see, they're 4-11, they're on a 4-game losing streak. They do have a good quarterback, by the way, but generally it's a CPU team and they're not very good. You can see they're last in the league in rushing yards per game. I'm going to take that into account because I'm probably going to run the ball a lot more in this game than I normally do. And then they like to throw the ball, but they have a decent rushing attack under James Reed. But really, it's Barham and Griffin I'm going to have to worry about. So I looked at game film for this one just like I do in everything else. And generally, the observation I have about the Saints is from watching the game film, they run a balanced passing attack. They tend to trend more to the short and medium passing. So I'll need to factor that into my game planning where I'll probably use a medium. I'll probably try to stop the medium passing game. Kenneth Martin is the wide receiver that they like to target, but I need to factor in Seth Griffin as well. On defense, they run a balanced defense. They will use quite a different formations, and I'll show you that in a second. But if you look at their last game, and Carolina just like skunked them. I could, if I wanted to just cheese it, and I'm not going to. I could just look at Carolina's playbook. I could copy this and just create a playbook and probably run it down their throat because Invisible just completely demolished them. Um, Now, if you look at what they are doing, so they're running a lot of 4-3-3-4. So this is a hybrid defense right here, which makes sense because if we go and look at their coach, hopefully it shows their coach, not my coach. Um, you'll see that he's 5-2, 3-3 hybrid, 3-3-5 hybrid, and then a West Coast hybrid. So again, they're going to throw the ball. That's the general thing that I would notice. Um, don't really care about the rushing attack because I don't think they're going to run the ball a whole lot, but I do need to factor that in on short downs. But again, just keeping in it, what I'm looking for is their tackles, which are Humphrey is on the left, Trout is on the right. Again, this is going to be like the Baltimore game all over again. The left side, which is my right side of the defense, is just solid. I'm not going to break through. But the right side is really suspect with Trout against the pass rush. Well, I should be able to get Ricks past him, and I'm gonna pretty much run the same setup that I did the previous game. But on this side, it's Marino is the guard. He's weak, as is, and 76 isn't weak, but I view if it's a difference between 80 and 90 and 70, that's the weaker side. Walston is also, he's on the right side, so I can attack the guards, and I can attack the right side. The center, I'm probably going to kind of stay away from because he's got a pretty good center in Serrano, and I don't want to go nail the center. So 4-3 is probably going to be my bet here for standard formation. I'm probably still going to run 3-4 because I can do things with the linebackers, but that's just the immediate thought. His wide receivers are not very good. You'll see a lot of 70s, a couple 90s. Kenneth Martin's the guy I got to keep track of more so than anyone else. I don't think Albrecht actually really plays that much. From what I remember, wide receiver one is Seth. Wide receiver two is James Olsen. Wide receiver three is Kenneth Martin, and then four is Gordon White. So definitely wide receiver three, I need to keep an eye on. So that'll be generally that should be my nickelback three or nickelback one. We'll be covering him. Uh, Tight end, not really worried too much about the tight end. Again, Varela is traditionally a pretty good one, but he's kind of hurt, so we'll see how that goes. On defense, I'm not really worried about his defense, and that may be me being cocky, but I'm not going to worry about the same way I would. It's Long and Coleman, I think, if I remember correctly, on the defensive side. And then on the outside, I will worry about these two with Hong and Johnson. Johnson's a matchup issue for me. He is really, really fast, and he's more than likely going to blow past anybody I put against him. Um, so I'll just have to factor that in. But if I remember correctly, he's the left end. Uh, Hong is the right end. So I'll just need to figure something out though. Linebacker wise, they have some speed, but not a lot of it. Cornerback wise, this is going to be, most of my wide receivers are going to be faster than any of these guys. So I'm not really worried though. Same thing with safety, not really worried. And then again, you can see strong safety, excuse me, is I'm not really worried. I need to be careful with this game because it is a trap game. Um, because New Orleans is not that good, I may overlook them, and I'm trying consciously not to do that. So if we go back to my team, the first thing here is I'm going to run the ball. I think I've already established that. Now on defense, from watching, so for their offense, what I've established based on watching a couple of their games is they like to pass on first down, first and 10. They like to run on first and short. They like to run on first and medium. Actually, probably more balanced, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to use a run defense against them. First and long, they tend to pass, and then they're pretty balanced on second down. They run and pass about equal. So I'll need to run a balanced on second down, and then on third down and fourth down, it's RPP, RPP. So run, pass, pass, run, pass, pass. On defense, they do a lot of balance stuff, but what they do is on the short downs, they guard against the run, and then they're balanced on the first and 10, first and medium, and then balanced on medium across the board. And then they guard against the pass on long. So keeping that in the back of my mind, we'll start with the depth chart here real quick. Probably not going to make a huge amount of changes here again. Um, I honestly, I may move Haynes over to Dill, but I don't think I'm going to. CB1, I'm not really worried about. Dill is really, really fast, so I'm probably going to target him in this game because he's got the most speed. And then I'm going to keep this the same way. I don't think that there's much I can do Hill, but one of the things I do want to do is maybe move Shipley over Hill. Probably move Hall Hill and then put, no, I should put Hall Hill. Sorry, there are times I'm pretty indecisive. So, and the reason why I'm doing that is if you watch my last video is, he's just generally, Shipley's a better pass blocker. Um, and that should help me. And he should be starting, but he got hurt at different points. I just got tired of him getting hurt. I'm not going to change this up much. I have thought at different points about swapping out Romero for Poland, but the main reason why I don't is this is the skill. Um, so we're going to save that. This is my pass. My run is different, and I'm not going to change that. So again, what we talked about Hill was if I'm going to rush, I'm going to put pressure on the middle. I have really thought about trying something, and I used to do this way back when, is I'm probably going to keep Hubbard Hill, but what I'm probably going to do is move Perry Hill and put some pressure on the inside. I'm probably going to move, I'm going to keep Ricks where he is, but I'm going to move Ballman up and then just make Huntle and we'll just make Huntle both of those, and then we will change this over to Wade Miller. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a penalty here, but I think I'll be fine because, again, I want to put pressure on the inside. Um, I'm going to continue to attack the right side of the line, so I'm going to keep Lyons where he is. Mostly's doing pretty good at outside linebacker. I mentioned wide nickelback. One is probably the most position of interest for me, so I'm going to actually put Burke over there, and then I'm going to put Christopher Lewis over Hill, and then just keep this the way it is. Mostly because Christopher Lewis has decent speed, but Burke has blazing speed, and also he traditionally does better as a nickel. It's just I like playing. I went up against a lot of teams that have speed, so I need to counter that speed. So that's going to be my depth chart. Again, not making major changes here. I do need to make changes in my strategy though. So in keeping with that, they're generally going to go balanced. I'm going to go probably 40 Hill. I'm going to go 75 Hill. And then I am going to, they're generally looking for balanced, so I'm going to probably play into what they want, but I'll go 65 Hill, keep that at 72. Blitzo, um, they're going to look for a run on that down, so I'll keep it 55. I'm going to drop this down because I'm passing way too often. And it kind of hurt me the last game a little bit. 57, 56, all that's fine. I'll just probably tweak this a little bit though and go 60, go 65, change that to 66, and then keep the rest. So I think what I said before is they're going to pass. I'm going to go more balanced run Hill. I'm not going to change this because I generally had a pretty good showing last game. And then these are a lot of balanced, so I'm going to go with AZD Oakland, and I'll trim AZD Oakland a little bit because it is a relatively new playbook for me. I used it against, it was designed for Oakland, but I didn't use it against Oakland because um, it's something I want to build, and also at the same time, I didn't know how well, I didn't want to use a new playbook against Peter. Traditionally, that's like asking for it. I think we're fine here. I think we're fine here. Again, I mentioned that he tends to go more balanced. Again, I'm not going to choose anything here, but I'm going to keep this the way it is, and I'm going to focus in on Kenneth Martin. Drop that. There we go. And then I'm going to change this to medium. I don't know what he's running, so he doesn't get a lot. We'll just go against blitz. I probably should just let my coach call that, but we're gonna, I think we're fine going long. We're gonna keep that long, and we'll maybe go balance this time. We're gonna move this to Timothy Deal, keep all that the same. And then one of the things I will look at is my AZDO and just see how things are going. Again, if it's the play's getting shredded on a consistent basis, I'm going to remove it just because I don't want to keep stuff while I'm getting shredded. So this is a shred, but I may hold that because I got a pick off of it. These two I'm going to get rid of though. So you see a lot of 3-3-5, 4-3 with a corridor. And again, this is my balanced one. This is not my pass. I'm not going to show my pass or my run because playoffs are coming up and I just don't want to tip off what I'm doing. So outside of that, this is kind of how I'm game planning. Again, I'm game planning against a team that I think is going to throw the ball balanced. It's short to medium. They're going to target Kenneth Martin a lot, who's a speedster. On the defense, they're going to run a fairly balanced defense, but I do need to account for the fact that they are going to throw the ball quite a bit. And I'm sorry, on defense, they're generally going to run a balanced defense, and I just need to account for the fact that a lot of downs are going to be guarding against a balanced attack as opposed to a run or a pass. So because of my last game, I do want to run the ball a little bit more than I have been. The only reason why I'm not running on first and short is because I think they're expecting that, and I want to kind of get away from that. Second and short, I'll probably drop this to 45 just to be on the safe side. And then that's it. That's how I'm going to game plan for this game. Hopefully, I win. General context: Pittsburgh's already clinched the #1 seed, and in a perfect world, I'd probably sit my starters for this one, but I'm not going to. And hopefully, I don't pay for that. But Pittsburgh will get a first round bye in the #1 seed, and then it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Oakland, I think, largely has the #2 seed at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out and if Peter and I end up meeting again in the playoffs. So hope this video helps. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. If you want to join us, let me know as well. And we'll go from there. Have a great night.